Hi, I'm Scott Coffin, a digital illustrator with a focus on character design and comic book art, frequently with a little bit of a spooky twist. Welcome to my new channel. Today, in this introductory video, I'm going to explain a little bit of what to expect from my channel, while you guys watch me draw cool stuff in the background. But before we get into the real meat and potatoes, let's talk about what I actually am drawing in the background. Today, I'll be drawing a cover commission for a client for their independent comic book project. I was given some reference art for the character as well as a color scheme and told that the character is meant to be a witch, but beyond that knowledge I was told to do whatever I like with the character. So, what you'll be seeing in the background is my take on that character while I talk to you about my upcoming plans for the channel. It probably goes without saying, but this is going to be an art-focused channel. But more than just that, I want this channel to be educational in nature. I want this to be something that you guys can learn from. When I talk about learning, I'm talking about both hard skills and soft skills. In other words, I want this to be a place where you can learn the technical skills of how to actually draw and create, but moreover, I also want to be able to discuss things like the philosophy of creating art. Let's talk first about those hard skills and my background as an artist. While I currently create the vast majority of my artwork in Procreate and use Photoshop just to sort of finish up a few things, I actually have a much more extensive background using Photoshop, first as a digital colorist, then as a photographer, then as a digital artist. One of the things that I've noticed in various art groups online is that digital artists coming over from Photoshop actually have a difficult time making the jump to Procreate because they're used to having a much more complicated interface and the simplicity is actually off-putting to them. I've been in that exact same spot myself. Because I worked with Photoshop for so many years before Procreate even existed, I really had a hard time making that jump, and it made me want to create a YouTube channel where I could share advice with artists trying to make that same jump. So a lot of my technical educational content here is going to be geared specifically at teaching people the basics of Procreate and teaching people the equivalence between Procreate and Photoshop. Now, one thing that I have learned from experience, because I am an experienced teacher, I was a college instructor for about 15 years, is that information like this is generally absorbed best in small chunks. To that end, most of my initial Procreate lessons on this channel will be uploaded in the form of YouTube Shorts. I may expand them to long-form content in the near future, but I want to at least get through some of the very basics in a very short-form nature. So you can look forward to YouTube Shorts giving pointers on how to make the jump to Procreate. That's not to say that there won't be any long-form content on this channel. I actually have very specific plans for that. Remember when I talked about learning about the philosophy of being an artist? That's where that's going to come in. Just like many modern digital artists, I spend a great deal of my time interacting with the art communities on various social media and watching some of the debates centered around what's right and wrong about creating art and seeing some really interesting and often well-intentioned but ultimately wrong-headed hot takes on what's right and wrong in the creation of art. Some frequently occurring discussions that I see include but are not limited to whether or not it's right or wrong to use reference, whether or not digital art is just art on easy mode, and more recently and very prominently of late, the moralities of using AI in art. These are just some of the topics that I plan on addressing in depth in my long-form content videos. So, all that said, I would like to set some clear expectations for what my at least initial plans are for content coming out on this channel. At least initially, my plan is to put out long-form content videos at least once a week, most likely on Saturdays, and those will focus on the more philosophical issues of art education. I might expand that content over time, but initially once a week on Saturdays. I've even already chosen my topic and I'm working on the content for next week's video. Next week we'll be talking about the right and wrong ways to use reference in your artwork. So if that's something that you're interested in digging deep into, be sure to come back next Saturday for that. I also have several other topics lined up for the near future, but if you have something that you'd like to hear me talk about in particular, by all means, put something in the comments down below, and if I see a bunch of interest in a given topic, I'll make sure to focus on it. In terms of those short-form tutorials I mentioned, I plan on publishing at least one YouTube short per day, Monday through Friday, so at least 5 per week. Again, that might expand out in the future, depends on how things go, what ideas I come up with, and what you guys are interested in learning, but we're going to start out Monday through Friday, one short a day. So, if you're interested in learning Procreate in bite-sized chunks, that's what to keep an eye out for. And if you have specific things that you would like to learn about, by all means, please post in the comments below, and I'll push that stuff to the front of the line if I see interest in it. So that's what you have to look forward to on this channel, at least in the immediate future, along with the schedule that you can expect content to come out on. That said, I am very open to suggestions, so if you do have ideas for specific types of videos in a general sense that you'd like to see me do, again, put those suggestions down in the comments. I'll give them a look and I'll do some thinking over on it. That said, if all this sounds appealing to you, please like and subscribe. It helps a ton, gives me a reason to keep on putting out more content, and share this channel with your friends. This is a brand new channel, and every little bit helps, and every little bit is appreciated. I hope to see you back here next time, and until then, thanks for watching.